Greetings, beloved. Welcome to another episode of Lutsandvo Ekaya, Love at Home. We are in Kamazi and we are with Elder Luto Dlamini and his wife Thelma. Elder Luto has served the kingdom in the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Labor, and also Foreign Affairs, respectively, from the year 1998 to 2013. He serves as the current MP of Nzingeni. Today, we would like Elder Luto Dlamini to take us back to those days when you were still single and searching for a life partner. How are you, Mr. and Mrs. Dlamini?
We're fine, thanks.
Amen.
Thank you very much for taking us back memory lane. I think going back, one realizes how much I've suffered. Actually, I think I met my wife somewhere in 98.
No, 1994.
1994.
To be exact.
This has really been a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1994. It was very pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Do you mean more than this?
Yeah. Oh my word.
Where was this? At the trade fair.
At the trade
Yeah,
fair
she was
office.
working at the trade fair,
Okay.
and
Imagine.
I was working for a company known as Southern Bottling Company, Coca-Cola at the time. So we had some business, and she was running the accounts of the trade fair.
Yeah.
And I needed a stall, and each time I got there, she tried to help me, and regardless of the others. And I said, "Why are you trying to help me?" Yeah, that's where we met, and then at that time, she wasn't an Adventist.
Yeah.
She will explain where she was going to church, and then I recall the family stayed in Mbabane. And I was still linked with the Mbabane church, even though I was working here. And I was staying in Mbabane as well. So I liked this young lady, regardless of her behavior at times. One moment she's angry, the next moment she's very loving. But, and then,
Yeah.
and I was getting old because I'm 10 years older than her. So
Okay.
I was getting old and I needed to settle. So this young lady really attracted me at the time, but she wasn't an Adventist. Now, the Adventists kept saying, "No, you must get an Adventist." Then one day there was a pastor from the USA, a Black American, Crowder.
Yeah, Don Crowder.
Don Crowder. He had an effort in Msunduza, in Mbabane. Then I said, "Hey, let's go to this thing." He said, "How me? Go to it. 10. What's going on?" He said, "No, go there." Anyway, from one thing led to another, and I think the rest is history. She accepted the Lord in the
Wow,
church and
amen.
got baptized. Then they explained to her that she has to have more skirts and dresses than the trousers she had at that time. So that's what happened basically. And then I had to take her to my mother because my father had passed on by then. And again, my feeling was, if you are to marry someone, the mother should also accept.
Yes.
And this is the message really I would like to indicate to young people. If your mother doesn't like your spouse, you're gonna have problems because these two have to be one because they're all trying to believe they're still in charge. My mother believes I'm still young, I need food, and she's not cooking well for me. Now she believes, look, this is my husband, now keep away. So they have to more like be a partnership to deal with you.
Yeah.
So I took her there, and was saying my wife liked wearing on weekends.
Not on weekends, all the time.
I mean the hot pants too.
Oh, okay.
So we're driving to the village. And, along along the way, I got a kanga. I said, hey, wear this because we're going to see my mother. He said, no, why you tell me how to dress? I said, please, I'll just wear this thing for the hour we are there. So eventually she agreed. We got there. She's wearing the kanga. My mother wanted to introduce you to this young lady. Who's she? I said, Smith. I said, huh? Smith? And then it's Nanatelo. And then I recall very well. We sat down, and when you are wearing trousers, you sit differently than when you are wearing skirts. So my wife just said carelessly, I said, you sit like a what have you brought here? I think after that, they just clicked. They clicked. I saw them discussing on their own, and I realized most of the time they were talking about me, what she must do to me, and what she mustn't do to me. So they clicked, and I want to really thank God that my wife and her mother-in-law just clicked, and that made everything a lot easier. When you visit my mother and say, take these peanuts, give them to last Smith, it made my life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Of course, I never told my mother the problems I was having with her at the time. But, at the end of the day, I must thank God that the beginning of any relationship is that do your in-laws accept you?
Oh, yes.
Similarly, when I met my mother-in-law, I realized that she was also of royal blood like me. She was a Dlamini.
Okay.
So she was more of an aunt than the mother-in-law. When I had problems with my wife, I would actually go to her.
Wow.
And she said, what's wrong with them, man? So we were very, very lucky in that the family liked us, accepted as well. At the time, I think I was already with the breweries and well known. So she brought home somebody that was well known. And one thing that hits me even now with my mother-in-law, at that time when you wanted eyeglasses, you had to go to the government hospital and line up from as early as 4 in the morning. Because there was only one guy who was dealing with the glasses.
Yes, okay.
So I needed the glasses at that time. She arranged with my mother-in-law, was a nurse there. She was knocking off what time? Around 6 or so. She was on night duty. She went there from 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock and was in the line for me. Mind you, I'm just a boyfriend. I'm not even part of the family. She waited there. I got there around about 7. I think there were just 4 people before the doctor. Then she left. So my first classes, actually, I owe them to her. Because neither me nor my wife couldn't go there, wake up at 4 and line up for them. So then the rest is history.
That's
we
beautiful.
then realized that we can make a couple. I don't remember who came with the idea of who wants to marry who. But I have a feeling she enticed me.
Yeah, so we heard much from Dallas side.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear from you, Margaret Dlamini. I hear people calling you Ngani. Is that your first name?
Yeah, it's one of my names.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I used to be very tiny.
Oh,
And then I went to stay with my mother's sister in the village.
okay.
And for obvious reasons, they couldn't say Thelma. So they ended up calling me Nanagazar, a small thing.
Okay.
So that's how I got the name. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was incorporated into my birth certificate.
Okay. So we've heard that Elder was attracted to you. You were pretty. That really caught his attention. And what attracted you to Lutho Dlamini?
Okay. Yeah, I know you might not look it now, but my husband was very handsome.
Wow.
If you have seen the pictures, those pictures of Jesus, he looked something like that.
Wow.
Still do it.
No. He looked something like that. I I just looked at him and I really liked him. He was very, very, very tiny. I think he was tiny like you, even tinier than the pastor. Yeah, he was thin. So, yeah, he even had an Adam's apple. You see one now? Yeah, he had a serious Adam's apple. That's how tiny he was. Very, very handsome.
And
And he was a magician.
he was a magician.
Mhm. It was one of his hobbies. And
Like people would get in a glass bottle. Is that kind of magic that you are doing?
he was just doing some tricks, but I've always been intrigued by magic.
Okay.
So I just fell in love with that. Yeah. And he was very funny. Luto can be very funny. When he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's got that sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, as it gets old, it gets weird. But he had a serious sense of humor,
The
and
last interview.
yeah, and I am a sucker for laughter.
Okay.
I like people that are jolly, fun, and Luther was a lot of fun. He was a lovely chap.
Yeah.
We had our ups and downs, fighting. Like I said, he was handsome, so he was a ladies' man.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies from the church, ladies from wherever. But when I met him, he had 3 children out
Okay.
of wedlock. 1 girl and 2 boys from different ladies.
Yeah.
I made up my mind
Yeah.
that the buck stops here with me. The next child I'm having with this gentleman, we will be married. Yes. And that took us a bit of time because we got married in 98,
And you met in 94.
94. So it was courtship all the 4 years.
All right.
They tried, in Swazi culture, they do marry you. I was at varsity then. And then they tried to wake me up to say they married me at his homestead. And I think they hadn't told him. I don't know. But that's the story they gave me. And I woke him up and I said, listen, just go and tell them. Like he's told you, me and his mother-in-law and my mother-in-law just hit it off. So they tried to marry me, and I said, no, please, just go and tell them. I'm at the fast. What do the people think now? I come back. One day I'm single, the next day I come back married. Can they wait until I finish?
The other boys there.
Okay. So I wanted to protect it.
I was a young girl, no children, unattached. Yeah. I
And-
wasn't a busy girl.
Okay.
Yeah. No. I was Catholic.
Okay.
My family is originally Catholic, but I used to go to with my mother. The nearest church was what's this?
SAQ.
No, Ezakhele. I forgot what it's-
When I said that.
Yes, we're staying in whatever. Oh yeah, Baban was Baban I wasn't going to church. I was just staying at home. But when we moved to Menzini, I would
Which
go
made it
to
easy for me. I'm in church on Saturday. I'm with you on Sunday.
Okay. That's how it worked. So, Ngane, what did your family think of your new boyfriend?
Okay, my mother liked him.
Okay.
I think it's because he was a Lamini.
Yeah.
My sisters, on the other hand, no. They told me this is a no-go area. This guy has got 3 children already from different ladies. No, it's not.
Which of the sisters said that?
No. We actually had a meeting and discussed it. They discussed because I'm the youngest amongst the girls.
Oh, okay.
So we discussed him. They said, I don't know. I don't think they really knew him.
Okay.
He might have been famous and all, but we really didn't know him. He wasn't famous in our side, in our sector.
Okay.
So, yeah. So they didn't like it.
And then how did you convince them, or you just went against their will?
They
It
probably
wasn't.
still don't like it.
Nah. I think they've had a change of mind.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, they realized he was serious with me. Yeah. Because I think his last girlfriend, or maybe his my son, before our son, the mother was in a choir with one of my sisters.
Okay.
So they knew him. You see, so they knew him. I think
Spies.
from her, not spies. They say. I mean, they had to protect their sister.
Yes, their
It
little
was more from
sister.
protection that hey, tread softly. This guy is much older than you, 10
Yes.
years, and he's got 3 children. You don't have any, Yeah, and you've just fresh from thing. You haven't even completed your fast at that. Yeah.
So, what was the best piece of advice you were given in preparation of marriage?
Of marriage?
Yeah.
Okay, they told me that see this dish that is yours here. It's broken today. Don't come back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are going there. You've decided it's this man and it's this man for keeps. Don't come back here and tell us you want to divorce and all that. You've made your choice. You've made your bed. You lie on it.
Yeah.
You've gone against advice. Don't come back here.
Yes.
They showed me my dish. They said we're breaking it up. That's it.
So literally, you broke.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did that.
I'm sure the mother told her you can't go wrong with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Elder, what was the best piece of advice you were given as well in preparation of marriage?
Well, we never got advice like people will tell you we're going to the pastor for counseling. I think we're old enough because we're counseling people at the time.
Oh,
But really, my feeling and my belief and my spiritual advice to myself from whoever is that you can only get married once. God says, I hate divorce.
yes.
So I was very clear that, look, if I go in there, it must be for the long haul. It's not a trial and error.
Yeah.
So the advice I would give is that, what does Percy Sledge say? Take time to know her. And then somebody once said to me, if you want to marry someone, try and study the mother. She's likely going to look like her. So I studied her mother very well. And she was a very strong woman. Had a broken family from the father and the like. But you would never tell that there's a problem with the family. It was very strong. So strong that even my father-in-law died in her hands when they were not even married anymore. But she believed. So that is why I thought that maybe my wife will most probably behave like the mother. I can't say much about the sister. But one would want to say, fast forwarding everything, the sisters, we are a strong family now.
Wow.
We're very close. I can't even imagine who came with this idea amongst them, but it's worth investigating. Now, the one thing that really made me realize I'm attached to this lady. You know, she had a sister who was a soccer player.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was an athlete. It's a family that the one sister was a soccer player, the other one was a netball player. She was in martial arts, into karate. And most people thought she was forcing me to love it. If I changed my mind, it would be serious trouble. So I just remember this joke I need to share with you. I'm at the trade fair and I'm sitting in the car with one of the directors. I think it was the late Mposi mom.
Okay.
So she's sitting there, I'm sitting this side, and she's walking towards us. Now Mposi says, you see that woman? She's full of herself. She knows karate, she can hit any man. If she touches me, I'm gonna shoot her because there's no way I'll fight this girl. I don't like it. Then she comes through and I open the window. And then I say, sorry, Mposi, you mind repeating what you've just said about Then I said, Mposi, please meet my woman. Well, the rest is history.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I want to say we took time to know each other. And the most serious advice is that if you want to marry someone,
Yeah.
it makes more sense that your spiritual alignment is intact. Especially for me, an Adventist. There's no way I'll marry someone who goes to church on a Sunday. But at the same time, don't say, come to my church so that you marry. Then she will come to the church for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
Fortunately, my wife enjoyed this crowd. She got so excited. I was so busy. At times I never even went to the airport. She would go there with the family. And when she decided to get married, to be baptized, never even told me. I heard from other people. So I think I was very lucky,
Yeah.
destined to marry her.
Yeah.
Or very unlucky, but stuck with her. It depends how you look at it. And the other thing that really she mentioned, which is, it's an embarrassing truth. When I met her, I had kids out of wedlock.
Okay.
Different women. But she became very, very motherly in that she took the kids and said, these are my kids.
Yeah.
Tell their mothers if they need anything for this kid, they must contact me.
Yep.
And the kids even now, these silly things, they still believe this is their mother. They always
Yeah.
they are. So she then developed a bond with them
Yeah.
to an extent that she was admonishing me, don't do this to my child. Every time I said, is she aware this is not a child? So that is how close they were. And that is another blessing. When you have kids out of wedlock and you meet a woman that understands the past, it really helps. And I think
Yeah.
God gave me someone who understands.
Amen.
Even now, very few people realize these kids are not hers. The way she's very close with them. And then again, she accepted that I have a long extended family. You know,
Okay.
being a Dlamini, being a politician, she understood that very well. For the first 15 years, I was a minister.
Yeah.
Hardly at home, hardly in the country. Never had time for her. All she knew was, where are you going now? I would call and she would come and pack. And at times take the briefcase with me to the airport. The kids and I go. So she really looked after the home while I was busy with politics. And you know, if you get into politics, you either lose your family
Yes.
or you lose your job.
Yeah.
I think I got both. I really want to to thank her for that. She understood it. A lot of people are saying, now, where is your husband? And now I wasn't around. And, I'm one person who gets very committed to my work.
Yeah.
She took care of me. I must thank her.
Oh, yeah.
You need to understand this man likes you to remember when is the anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday. Now,
Uh-huh.
I can't remember this thing. So I then made a deal with my other sister-in-law. Said, look, a week before, tell me it's the anniversary. Don't tell her you've told me. Tell her it's my birthday, it's her birthday. It worked very well until she discovered who was actually assisting. So that is what I could say. Also, my sisters, they also liked her very well. I come from a very big family. The family, we are 9. same mother, same father. So it's a big
Okay.
family. Plus, we have the extended families in Malangen and the other houses. And she quickly got to understand and appreciate that she's marrying into a big family and very dependent on me. So my wife has to take care of the family.
Yeah.
But the one thing I want to say now that we are talking about helping people who are trying to get married or stay married, the main thing that creates problems and friction in a family is money.
Yeah.
Either lack of it or too much of it or misuse of it. It's money. And if as a family you don't understand how much money you have,
Yeah.
then it won't work. So I was lucky that my wife is an accountant actually. She
Okay.
manages my money.
Uh-uh.
But the one thing that I did was to say, "Nan, as long as I work, I want you to know how much money I make."
Yes.
So we have a joint account. Actually, I don't even know how much money I earn. She knows. I don't even know how the money in the family is spent. I sit with my phone and I just see in contact. There goes my money. Where's she now? Oh, she's in Madrid. Oh, she's at Woolworth. Oh my God! But at the end of the day, I think if we both know how much money we have,
Yes.
it makes it easy to plan how we spend the money. Needless to say, I still don't know how much she earns, but we work as a team, and she takes care of the family. Because my belief is, if a man doesn't tell the wife how much he earns, this poor woman is gonna create debts thinking there's more money for this guy when the
Yeah.
guy is broke. Plus, it also keeps you in check what you use the money for. People are embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed to say, "Now I have to go home to see my people. Can I have petrol money?" Of course, I need all this money, but I can't even say, "Look, this is our money." So it's a piece of advice I would give to young people that try and share how much money you have. You can act big, but not to your spouse. Let her know that this guy is broke. That is what has actually helped us to move. And also, try and live within your means. That's very, very important.
Yes.
If you cannot, then you're in trouble. I'll give you an example. When we're building this house, we couldn't get a loan. It's just got into government then.
Okay.
So we're building from our own pocket, and we had these kids. At some point, we said, "No, let's take these kids to their grandmothers
Okay.
for a few months. Let's get a small, I'll show you the shack where we were staying." I was a minister staying in a shack. So that every morning we put this together. So she helped me do that.
Wow. Yeah.
And the other advice I would like to give to young men is that when you decide to acquire a home and you want your wife to be the queen of that home, have nothing to do with the choice. Let her decide how big, where. You can only offer there's this place and this place and this place. But it makes more sense when the wife stays, you build where she likes. When we chose this place, I brought her and she said, I like this place. I said, you tick.
Yeah.
If she said, I don't like it, my advisor said, then move on. She will not enjoy staying there.
Yeah.
And then you start designing the house. As a man, I brought plans, my friends have done this. She'd say, I can't do this, change this. Then one friend of mine pulled me aside and said, listen, just let her alone. So she sat with the sisters, designed the house, and I was just there, a stranger, committed financially, but had no say how this thing would look like. And then they started digging the foundation. So I would sneak in and check what's going on. Not with her, of course, because again, you don't want her to feel like she's being monitored. Then one time I found the foundation closed. There are now changes. And now what's going on? I said, no, we realize it's not okay. But at the end of the day, I want to say this is a home, and my wife spends more time here than I do. So try and make sure that your wife gets the house that she wants and in the manner she wants it. It makes her the queen of the house.
Yeah.
I'm just a lodger here.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've heard a lot of good things that Luto likes about you, loves about you. Now we want to hear from your side. What is the best part of being married to Luto Dlamini?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All is good. We'll tell you.
Okay, mate. At first, yeah, like he said, it was difficult, but I think I'm a person that likes my space,
Okay.
that likes freedom,
Okay.
that doesn't like to be changed, to be told, do this, do that. Like some men would wear this, don't wear that. You know, like some men would do to me. And Luto has never done that.
Okay.
He's let me be who I've always been, not try to change me in any way. I will fit in and change this and this as I go along, as I see, oh, church, maybe they don't like maybe the way I walk, maybe the way I dress, or this. I would change along the way. But you would never say, I don't want you wearing pants because maybe the chief or the people in the area don't think like that. So whenever somebody says to me, don't do it, I say, my husband never says that. He's never said that. So who are you to come and tell me I mustn't do this? The only person that I would allow to tell me that was my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Because we had this mutual respect and understanding. Even if it was my house and she was here, I would try and behave and dress in a way that I know will not offend him. Yeah. But my husband has always given me that, yeah. And I don't make friends with ladies.
Okay.
I've always been like that. And for...
Makes friends with men.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am
And
friends.
you are okay with it?
Even if
What
it's
if
not,
I wasn't okay? Since they say the art of being wise is the ability to know what to overlook.
My husband always says that. Yeah, sometimes you can sit there. He doesn't maybe like this or he doesn't understand it. But then I say, he'll catch on. He'll realize there's no harm here. And go with the flow. It doesn't really then start. It does happen once in a while, or maybe once in a blue moon it would happen, but not entirely, because that's
Yeah, I think
who I am.
getting angry as a family, it's normal.
Yeah.
I think we can't sit here and act like we are angels.
Yeah, we made our moments.
I have always told my kids that look, if you happen to get married, try and avoid colors. They have a way.
All right.
I said, but anyway, the point is, when I was Minister for Labor, I used to tell workers and employers that there's nothing wrong with getting angry in the place. It's natural. But take turns. Don't get angry at the same time.
Okay.
And don't get angry for a long time. Give the other an opportunity. If I'm angry, my wife has to be fine. And if she's angry, and it happens quite often for a variety of reasons, I have to come down. Because if we're both angry, then there's a problem. And also our son, Paul, is also our marriage advisor at times. There was one time we had an argument in the bedroom, and he was standing there watching us, and he said, "Listen, you two, I don't want to have single parents. Just sort this thing. We give you a few minutes." And we left. Though we laughed. So, but the point is, in a marriage, let's not lie that everything is fine.
Yeah, that's true.
We have different backgrounds, different associations, all these things impact negatively. Some of the things you then understand.
Yeah.
My, my wife can help anyone, but invariably she has to bring that one needs help. You know, if I bring someone and say he needs help, so where do you know him from? Where do you know him from? Who's the parent? Who's the mother? So, but you need to then appreciate and find a way. Like as a family, we have been blessed with a lot of foster kids. God has
Okay.
blessed us. I think in our life we've had over 15 or so that we've looked after. Some of them we don't even know them. And my wife has been very understanding. You know, one incident, one of them you remember, Liam Foon. We had a son that we adopted. The mother died in a car accident, and the father had an accident and then died. So the boy would come and visit us. So one day they called me, I'm at work, and I minister for that night. They called the minister, say, what time are you home? I said, I'm not too sure. Try and be around about 8 with the meeting. Yeah, a family meeting, yeah, and we need you. So I come back here tired, thinking about work, and then they're sitting there and saying, you know what? We have decided to adopt Simbo to be one of our son permanent. We have decided without my inputs, and I just wanted to let you know the decision has been taken. So from today, he's one of us. He stays here. You look after all of us. Then it happened. And then saying Lelenya, I'm touring the Manzini market. I'm the Minister of Commerce. So I find this young boy with the mother selling him crap. I say, why is this boy not in school? The mother says, I don't have money. Now, at that time, there was no free primary education.
Okay.
So I took out my wallet. I think I gave it 300. It wasn't expensive at that time. Just take this boy tomorrow to school. This is not right. So I forget about the whole thing. Then somewhere in January, I get into my office and I see this woman. So I go into my office. My secretary says, hey, there's this lady who wants to see you. I said, who's she? Now she's from Manzini Market. Then it clicks. Stop. I think she wants more money now for the kid. She comes in. How is the boy doing? So the boy went to from grade 1. They promoted him to grade 2. Now he's going to standard 1. He's doing very well. So you want money for... No. You have created a problem for me. That wasn't... I got this boy from the first encounter with another man. So I got married and brought him in the home. Akasiye wala. So my real husband, all his kids failed.
How?
Only this one, the foster one, passed. And now he doesn't want the foster child in the home. He said, I must get rid of him.
Oh.
So that's why I've come to see you. Now, why don't you take him to his father? Father doesn't even exist as far as things are concerned. So I pick up the phone, I call my wife. Where are you? She says, I'm around Babane. Please drop everything, come to my office. Then I tell her the story. She says, who's this woman? Where do you know her from? I don't know this woman. I only met her last year at the market. Please deal with this matter. So I spoke. Then she came back and said, look, we're taking over this child.
Wow.
It's gonna be one of our kids. And when was that?
Hey, a long time.
Yeah, the boy was doing standard 1. And last week, I actually attended his graduation.
Wow.
His BSc in radiology. So we've inherited a well-educated young man now. And I must thank her. It was her understanding that we can adopt the boy, look after the child, and you can't do it without the spouse help.
Yes.
So really, I must thank God for that. all the bad things we've had as a family, I think they're overshadowed by the good things.
Yes, yes.
Inkinga lenkulu emkami ukuthi she loses her cool. Even the kids, they know it. When this thing trips, you must make sure even myself I keep away. No, she's and the kids come to me and say, hey, I can't help. I'm also trouble here. Other than that, really, I would be lying. She accommodates a lot of the problem. Like I said, being a people's person, being somebody out there, making serious even family commitments,
Yes.
including managing her in-laws. It's not an easy thing. But she understands, she accommodates that.
Yes. And Ngan,
Yeah.
any word of advice to other couples watching this video?
Okay. What I can say is no two marriages are the same.
Yeah.
They need to understand that. But if they decide to get married, they must know they are in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
There's no way out. This business of when you feel like you can divorce, because divorce is so cheap now. It's so common. People are married this year, divorced 2 months later. You never know what they're thinking. But I would advise them to get married for the long haul.
Yeah.
Not from feelings that, oh, I think I love him, without, like what my husband has said, understanding the background and fitting yourself in to see. Because if you go with feelings, what if the feelings wear off? Then
Yeah.
what? Then you will not be able to sustain the relationship.
Yes.
Yes. And then another thing, to understand that you and your partner are different people. If you try and change him to be what you want him to be, then you are creating problems.
Yeah.
Because he will be frustrated. As much as he tries to change me, I'll also be frustrated. We just need to give each other space to be free in the way we love each other. And we have different ways of loving each other. I know from what my husband does that this man loves me.
Yeah.
And he probably knows. And I hope he does.
What was that?
From what I do. And I also love him. You understand? So yeah, people need to be careful. They must just be in it for life.
And for how long have you been married?
24 years now.
Wow, 24 years.
It's been very strenuous, my sister. I hope after this you'll come.
But there is no turning back,
No
unfortunately.
turning back. Until life was, does its part. That doesn't mean you must kill me.
Well, you can't rule out such possibilities, but
That's our son.
you know the
People.
Okay.
the thing that
Oh,
that
okay.
she was saying that let's not change one another. It's very important, but accept and,
Yes.
and make good out of that. You know, if when we were courting, my wife demonstrated that she can cook. Sorry, chicken biryani.
Yeah.
She would cook that for me.
And you liked it?
I liked it, and that was the way into my heart. She really would prepare it, and I would enjoy it. You know, even take some home because I was a bachelor. But now you say, what about the biryani? She says, I'm too busy. Please just. So, kunale sisho lesithi kubanjwa ngaleti kudlayo. So when you go fishing, you use a bait.
Yes.
The intention is not really to feed the fish.
Yeah.
They cheat once. So they use this piranha bait, and I think it worked to your advantage. There's no more piranha now, so we need to find something else.
No.
No, I think that, you having said that, I think what happened is, like we said, for the 15 years, my husband was never here.
Okay.
So it became difficult to be cooking. And
Okay.
is it a meeting? He comes back, every time I would cook and he would come back, he's eaten at the meeting and stuff like that. It would really pain me. But instead of complaining about it, I decided to filter down the cooking and train my children to cook.
She got busy. She's running her own business. She comes back very tired. You understand? Plus, God has given us all these kids
Yeah,
to
we've
find
got
here,
a
and
lot
they
of
can
children.
cook. I mean, the
got-
boys are so good. One of them is a lawyer now.
Okay.
You would cook, and then he left the others. The other one is just
Oh, they all
graduated. He's a radiographer now. Malumsa is married. We never had problems with these boys and girls understanding they have to cook for us. So my wife and myself we benefited from that. And, and the fact that, when you are married, my sister, as she says, it's for the long haul. You try and find what will make this thing work. Rather than to find excuses. If you look for excuses in me, you'll find a lot of them.
Yes.
And the problem that I have as a politician is that I have a lot of enemies, real and perceived. I've done so many wrong things. She's the only person who can assist you. When you're in politics, you have squandered money, you have stolen millions. And the time she comes to me that day, someone was saying you have got so many millions, and do you have this money, and why are you not sharing with me? So we laugh about it. And again, I must really thank God for giving me a highly educated woman, but who understands. She runs her own business.
Okay.
As a politician, there were some times where I wasn't at work. And she was there maintaining us until I could get something to do. And without even complaining, I never felt the pinch, which is the other thing, that this is a partnership.
Yeah.
It might happen that your spouse, your female spouse, has more money than you, but let that not go into her head and destroy the marriage.
Yeah.
So my wife would look after me without a problem. Because after politics, we have no job. You're either campaigning or you're looking for a job. She would come in and nobody would notice that Lutro is actually broke. And that is one thing couples must understand. You are in this thing together.
Yeah.
Cover each other. But the most important thing that we sustained us over this time is that when we have a problem, we don't involve third parties. People like stories.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what happened? Yeah, you had it. We sit down and fight and disagree. That's moto na begele. Then she was, where are you? So, no, we like to bring in a lot of people. I've heard people saying, let's go for counseling. Let's go for counseling. I think we can counsel each other much better because we know the realities. And if there's one person you can't fool, is your wife. Even if you come back with full of ideas, your wife will look at you and say, do you realize how broke you are? I can see you've been thinking of buying a new car. Stop that idea, you're broke. So she's your advisor, she's your partner, she's everything. And she Neighbor can also explain that she mustn't be too stingy with the money, please. At times I suffer when I try to get money. Can maybe if we talk about it, we should change her mind.
Hey, thank you very much, Moslamini. Thank you for the wonderful time, the advice. We really thank God for this time. May God bless you. Thank you for your time.